Justin Bieber had it all. He was the face of a generation, the voice that turned simple YouTube videos into worldwide tours. A kid from Stratford, Canada, who went from singing on the streets to selling out arenas all over the globe. With songs like Baby, Love Yourself, and Sorry, he became a pop icon before he was even old enough to drive. But in 2023, something changed. Justin made a move that shocked the world. He sold his entire music catalog, every song he had ever made, for $200 million. At first, it looked like a smart business move. He was still young, already rich, and now even richer. People saw it as a win. But soon, things didn't feel right. Justin stopped releasing music. He vanished from the spotlight. He looked different, tired, distant, and disconnected. That deal that was supposed to give him peace may have taken something much bigger away from him. It may have taken his purpose. To understand how that happened, we have to go back to the beginning. Justin's rise to fame was like no other. He was just a kid uploading videos of himself singing on YouTube. His voice was smooth, his smile was charming, and he had that thing that made people stop and watch. It wasn't long before music manager Scooter Braun discovered him, and from there, everything changed. Justin got signed to a label. He moved to the US. He worked with Usher. And before anyone knew it, he was a global star. At only 15 years old, he was on world tours. At 16, he had millions of fans. His songs were everywhere, and so were the cameras. He couldn't walk down the street without getting chased. He couldn't make a mistake without it becoming news. The fame was massive, but so was the pressure. Every move he made was judged. Every word he said was recorded. He wasn't just living, he was performing all the time. For a teenager, that kind of spotlight is too much. Over the years, that pressure broke him down. By his late teens, Justin started acting out. He had run-ins with the law. He was arrested. He got into fights with paparazzi. He was labeled a bad boy, a troublemaker, and even a spoiled brat. But deep down, Justin wasn't bad. He was lost. He later opened up about this dark time in his life. He admitted to using drugs heavily, from weed to lean and pills. He said he couldn't feel anything. He was numb, depressed, and surrounded by people who didn't really care about him, just his money and fame. Still, music was his one escape. And in 2015, he released the album Purpose. Songs like Sorry and Where Are You Now became massive hits, and fans believed Justin was back. He was more open, more honest, and his music reflected that. But behind the scenes, the struggle wasn't over. The pressure didn't go away. Fame didn't get easier. He ended up canceling the last leg of his Purpose tour, saying he needed to focus on his soul. People were confused, but later they understood. Justin was breaking down again, mentally, emotionally, physically. He said he felt like he was dying inside. That's when he turned to faith. He started going to church more often. He got close with pastors and began focusing on healing. Around that time, he rekindled his relationship with Hailey Baldwin. She became his rock, and in 2018, they got married. It looked like he was finally finding peace. In interviews, he said he was learning how to be a husband, how to love, and how to let go of the pain from his past. And once again, he returned to music. But this time, it felt different. Albums like Changes and Justice were less about charts and more about truth. Songs like Lonely and Anyone were raw and emotional. He was no longer trying to impress the world. He was trying to survive it. But then came the deal. In early 2023, Justin shocked the industry by selling his entire music catalog to Hypnosis Songs Capital. This included everything from his first song to his most recent. For $200 million, he gave up the rights to every track he had poured his heart into. The deal was one of the biggest ever made by such a young artist. And at first, it seemed like a great move. He got a huge payday. He could finally step away from the machine. But as time passed, people noticed something wasn't right. Justin became silent. He didn't release new music. He wasn't active on social media. He canceled performances. He even skipped events he was expected to attend. Paparazzi photos showed him looking tired, lost, and distant. Fans started asking, "Where is Justin Bieber?" Some said he was finally resting. Others feared something worse, that selling his catalog had taken something from him, something he couldn't get back. Justin's music was never just about fame. It was his diary, his therapy, his voice. It helped him survive the darkest parts of his life. And when he gave that away, it may have felt like he gave away a part of himself. Now, those songs, the ones that helped him heal, belong to someone else. They can be used in ads, films, TV shows, even ones he doesn't like or support. And he can't say no. He has no control. That reality is hard. Imagine hearing a song you wrote about pain or love being played in a perfume commercial. Imagine knowing that your voice, your story, is now a product in someone else's hands. That's what Justin lives with now. And it might be one of the reasons he disappeared. He didn't just sell his music. He let go of something deeply personal, and it may have left him feeling empty. His health didn't help either. Justin had already opened up about having Lyme disease, which made him weak and exhausted. Then he revealed that he had Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, which caused part of his face to become paralyzed. These conditions were serious. They made touring hard, singing hard, living hard. He was clearly struggling. And with music gone from his life, he had fewer outlets to express that pain. Fans also noticed changes in his marriage. Justin and Hailey used to post each other all the time. But in 2023, those posts stopped. They were seen together less often. People started to wonder, is everything okay between them? Rumors spread. Some said Hailey was worried about Justin's mental health. Others said they were growing apart. It wasn't clear. But something definitely felt off. The truth is, when Justin sold his catalog, he wasn't just making a business deal. He was making a statement, one that even he may not have fully understood. He might have believed he was freeing himself. But instead, he lost the one thing that kept him grounded. Music had been his escape since he was 13. Now, it was gone. And without it, he seemed to vanish. He isn't the only artist who's sold their catalog. Other stars like Bob Dylan, Future, and Shakira have done it too. But for them, it felt different. Most of them had decades-long careers. They were older. Their stories were mostly told. Justin, on the other hand, was still young. He still had more to say, or at least he did, but after the deal, it felt like the end of something. Not just a chapter, an entire book. And the music industry, the same industry that made him a star, played a big part in this. It chews up young talent. It praises them when they're useful. Then it moves on. Justin was a child when it began. He was never given the time or space to figure out who he really was outside the spotlight. Fame raised him. The industry shaped him. And when he was finally too tired to keep going, he sold the only part of himself he had left. Now, fans are left wondering, is Justin Bieber done with music? Is this just a long break? Or has he really walked away forever? Only he knows. But the silence says a lot. It speaks to a man who's tired, who's given more than most people give in a lifetime. A man who got everything he thought he wanted and still wasn't happy. Sometimes freedom doesn't look like what we think it will. Sometimes walking away doesn't bring peace. It brings questions, pain, emptiness. Justin might be rich, but money can't replace passion. It can't fix a lost sense of self. And it definitely can't bring back the feeling of standing in a room, singing your truth, and knowing people really hear you. That's what he gave up. And maybe he needed to. Maybe it was the only way he could survive. But it came with a cost. The Justin we see now isn't the same. He's quiet, he's distant, he's fading from the spotlight he once owned. Maybe that's what he wants, or maybe he's just trying to find himself again, without the music, the pressure, or the expectations.